Accucare Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine in Brick, New Jersey offers a state-of-the-art facility with all the best and current treatments. With athletic trainers, massage therapists, and doctors of physical therapy, Accucare has everything you need to stay healthy and perform at the highest level. Cupping, stretching, laser therapy, compression boots, and a full-body cryo chamber are just some of what you can expect at Accucare. Check out their website and social media links in my bio. No prescription is needed to see them. So call them today and start feeling and performing at your best. Again, thank you to Accucare for sponsoring the Shore Football Report. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Accucare High School Football Preview Show, Ocean County Edition, presented by the Shore Football Report. And today we will talk Central Regional Golden Eagles with head football coach, third-year head football coach. I can't believe it's third year, Jarrett Pidgeon. Coach, thanks for coming on the show. Thanks.
Thanks for having me, man. We're looking forward to getting this going and, excited to be here.
Wow, you are a vet now, third year.
Yeah.
You're not that rookie dude anymore that was taking over a program with the COVID. Boy, we got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. A lot has happened in those 3 years, too, for you. And I'm real excited for the next 10 years for you, too. And I want to hear about all this outstanding rumors I'm hearing about these Central players this year. I mean, just so much excitement. You do a great job with social media, too. I love it. I do love it. First, let me talk about our site. Two things happened. We are now in partnership with Accucare and Brick. Accucare and Brick is physical therapy, sports medicine. They rehabilitate you for recovery. You know as well as I do as an athlete that you need places like Accucare to get your kids in the right frame of mind and physically right.
Absolutely.
Yep. So she's on the same page. She has the same view, what she wants for the athletes in all sports, but she is a huge fan of not only football in the Shore Conference, but the Shore Football Report. She is. All right. So make sure that you keep promoting Accucare to your program, which I know you do. And that's that. She's watching the show tomorrow when this comes on. She watches every one. She asks me questions about how they doing here, Big fan. Coach, big fan of all the programs, and you'll see her around the games. The other news was Scott Stump is back. The mystery hire was him. The whole time it was him, and I really lucked out. Having a guy like him, I mean, I can't write at all. I don't pick pens up. I talk maybe too much. He writes a lot, and he loves it. He's back, and he covered you as an athlete back in the day, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's I know we're excited to have him back in the Shore Conference, and it's a familiar face. So he's always done a great job. And like you mentioned, I remember him back when I was playing. So he's been around a long time, knows the coaches, knows the program. So it's a great fit for you guys, and we're excited to see what you guys put together.
He actually was talking about, it's weird because he's been away for a couple of years. The guys he was covering, like yourself and Sandberg, are now head coaches. Right. So he's excited about, getting back into it, rolling his sleeves up and covering Shore Conference football. And he loves it. He does it with a passion. He does. And he's good at it. And everybody asks me, are we doing the Stumpy Awards? We haven't talked about that yet, but we'll be doing something. We'll be
Yeah,
doing
or
something.
Stump's Corner. I know that was a
Stump's
big
Corner.
thing we look forward to.
Yeah. So good stuff going on here. And I had to elevate my program, the Short Football Report, because there's programs like yourself that are demanding it. You're demanding it. You guys are going high level on and off the field. And I felt like I had to add to the dream team. And so here we are. So let's talk about you. Your resume, we talked about it last year. Third season. I have a lot of personal excitement for you as a coach because I got a chance to coach you years ago. And I said this last year, and a couple of your players said, how was he as a basketball player? Because I coached you. You were the last class that left Barnegat to go to Southern, and I really wish I got to coach you in football. But they said, how were you in basketball when I coached you in basketball? You played basketball like a football player. You used up all your fouls. you were the most physical point guard out there in the middle school level. But all joking aside, you could tell you had a certain demeanor to you that you were going to be a leader or a coach back in the day because you were back then. And I'm sure you're coaching kids up now, and you probably see a little you in people too when you're coaching those kids at the lower levels, right?
Yeah, absolutely, and especially since we're on the basketball topic, we did a big round of knockout today, offense versus defense. But 2 weeks ago we did play out. I just wanted to be noted that I did beat Devin Sisler and Frank Gargione, two of our quarterbacks on the team. Who say I'm quite stiff, but they took that L and out. So I just want that to be noted. It didn't work out so well in knockout this morning, but the kids had a good time and we were competing. So
Coach, I might have to put you on the position rankings now if you did that.
Might as well.
That's pretty impressive because those are two pretty good athletes.
Absolutely.
I need some video for proof on that. So you two players out there, give me the video. If I don't see it, it didn't happen.
Right.
Coach, just briefly, let's talk about how you became a coach to where you are here. And then we're going to talk about your busy off season that you had. It's fun. Just tell us where you came from and how you got to here. And I can't wait to talk about this part with you.
Right. As far as me being a coach, it was always me being a young guy following around my dad. He started out with, in the short conference with Coach Versil and then, carried over to Coach Donahue. So I was always around my father and loved being around the game and loved being around the guys. So my love for football grew at a short age. As I got older, high school football was, the biggest thing in my life. Trained all the time for that year round. I played lacrosse, played basketball, but, really started focusing on, lacrosse and football later years in high school. Did a prep year at Valley Forge for football until, I signed a scholarship to Bloomsburg University, which is a Division II school out in Pennsylvania. Had a pretty successful career out there. We won over 40 games. We won some championships, and I have met some of the best friends of my life. After college, you want to stay around the game as much as possible. There was an opportunity once I moved back home from Pennsylvania to coach and start working at Central Regional School District. And Dr. Parla Panides gave me an opportunity to come on Willie Jacobs' staff. Forever grateful to Willie for giving me an opportunity at 22 years old, and then awarding me the defense coordinator position at 23. And I've been at Central ever since. But football has been a burning passion of mine. Central Regional has been very good to me, and I just want to make this a place where that we're proud of, putting it on the map and be a perennial team each and every year. Our kids are buying into that. That's where we're going. That's what we're becoming. We're becoming those teams that, it's not an easy win anymore. You're going to have to, fight and grit against us. And that's the way we like it. We're going to be prepared in what we do, and our kids are going to be ready year round. That's the emphasis that we take in the weight room and on the practice field. Our kids play hard. They do things the right way, and they have high character. So I believe the little things are big things, and Central Regional is going to be a great program going forward over the next, 5 to 10 years.
I want to correct you on something. You said you want to get on the map. Well, you're on the map. You're on the map, Coach. You're on the map, and I'm going to tell you why you're on the map. Last year, you were Coach of the Year in the Liberty Division. You had an outstanding season, 6-4, a very tough division. Yeah, I mean, guys came out of the woodwork. Chase Gumbrett, Your defense didn't give up points for so many weeks. I mean, I was like, whoa, are they going to give up any points this year? It got to the point where I started thinking that, for a while. But he had a great year, 6-4, coach of the year, went to the playoffs. You know, and got married in the winter. Got married in the winter, right? Got to give her perks too, right?
Right.
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 And then you were named coach for the Ocean County All Shore Gridiron Classic. Let's talk about those three things and how you had to kind of how you. I mean, how this was after our talk last year. A lot happened. A lot of great things happened, and all three things were great things. And let's just say the marriage was probably the biggest one because she's probably
Of
going to
course.
watch the show. All right, good. Second would be the coach of the year you had last year, but being recognized by your peers, your coaches, you were recognized as coach of the year. How was that for you? And I know you're going to say I couldn't have did it without my coaches and players. I know you're going to, but I just want to know, did you kind of like pinch yourself and go, wow, I'm coach of the year already. This is incredible.
Yeah, I don't think it was a matter of being the coach of the year. I don't think I was thinking about that at all. We had a great group of seniors that really bought in, and I'm forever indebted to those guys because they believed in me as juniors. When I first got hired during COVID, that was a tough year, and I just kept pumping in that, hey, we have to put ourselves on the map, leave your legacy. You want a banner in the gym, and we emphasized that since January. And our school district was phenomenal going throughout that whole school year and having a quote unquote normalized year. They allowed us in the weight room where a lot of schools weren't, and I was very adamant about getting those guys in there because it was very important for our season. 6-4, everyone pats you on the back, but in our program, the standard is the standard, and that wasn't good enough for us. We started off hot, dropped a few games. We had two close ones with school rivals with Lacey and Southern, and that left a bad taste in our mouth. And then obviously with the pod games, we drew a phenomenal Manalapan team. Just great talent, great overall coaching over there. Coach Laporte does a phenomenal job. And then we drew Pensauken, who was explosive. Kind of fell into some quicksand, and we ended the season on a sour note, 6-4. But my kids, our staff, and our program was right back at it December 5th. We didn't wait. We had a sour taste in our mouth. We wanted to get back in the weight room, and we're excited to get back on the field and prove ourselves this year. Obviously, you got to take a step, take your foot off the gas a little bit in the personal life. I did get married after, quite some time of being engaged. My wife is phenomenal. She does everything for me. She's the backbone of what we do. She's been a great support system, right. since I moved back to New Jersey in 2014. She's been there the whole time. When I was going to school, delivering pizzas, working 3 jobs to pay for my master's. Behind every great coach there's a strong woman and even better wife, and that's what I have. So I'm just forever thankful to my wife and what she allows me to do, which is coach this great program and lead this great group of kids. I'm forever grateful. I'm in a great position right now, and the program is onward and upward. That's what I'm most excited about. We're building, but along those way, we're gonna have our victories, and you could see it. Whether it's the youth camp or the 65 incoming freshmen that we have, things are building, and it's coming quickly. And I tell the kids all the time, yeah, you can build or you can win now. And that's the expectation. We're going to forever, progress and keep that 1 foot, one step at a time. But our kids are building it, and I'm very excited about this upcoming season.
Yeah, that's great take, coach, and all this stuff. And of course, this summer, to me, I mean, win or lose, you were representing Ocean County as coach, head coach for Ocean County. I came to your practice and I was driving home and go, wow, he's come a long way. I was so proud of you. You've come such a long way. Because I know you when you were younger, when you were a lot younger, leading the Ocean County to the game, and it's gone real fast for you, and you're doing a great job promoting the program, promoting Ocean County. You were doing, everything's in place, and now let's have some fun for you, right? You just got married. You had a great season last year. You were representing Ocean County as the head coach, and you have a bunch of great football players leading into this year. And I read all your tweets, and we talk on the phone, and I can feel the vibes on how excited you are. That gets me excited because me and Scott Stump have to work our tails off to get to that level with you guys. You raised the bar with us. I'm excited. I really am. And it's a great story. You're a great story. And you were raised with a great family. I know your family, your mom and dad, and seeing your dad on the sidelines is like, it's awesome. It's really awesome. I know he's so pumped up and proud. You're living a dream, right? Best job in the world.
Like you mentioned, it was such a great honor to coach the All Shore game. Everything's kind of come full circle. I was able to play in that game. I had the unique honor to represent Southern almost 10 years ago, 12 years ago, whatever it is. And we played at Brick. So it was kind of bringing back a lot of memories. And what a great bunch of talent that we had. I complimented numerous coaches, how well respectful, how the kids were just super respectful. They showed up on time. They played hard, and it was a close game. It's not one of those games that kind of got carried away. A few calls here and there could have went a different way, but it was an awesome experience. We enjoyed it. We got to put our staff to work, kind of knock the rust off a little bit from last year, and we had some other guys, Robbie Brown from Brick Memorial, and Big Keith Anderson from Jackson Memorial. So it was great to get unique perspectives from those guys that you're usually going against or watching film. But it was a great experience. Able to do it with my father on the sidelines as usual. It's just another feather in the cap for that. But again, it's not so much me being the head coach. It's just a unique honor to represent the game and bringing it back and the importance of this game in the short conference where kids backing out. It's important and it's an honor. Central Regional had 9 kids representing our program in that game, which is definitely the most we've ever had in that game. And that's important to me. My kids knew how important that game is. I just want to continue to see it being elevated and bring it back to what it was, because that, 10, 15 years ago, that game, I never missed a game. I went to every one of those games growing up with my father. I knew all the players that were playing in it. And it's got to get back to that level. And I think it's well on its way. But the drive and the directions from the head coaches, it really has to get back to there, because it is such a great experience for those guys. They'll have lifelong memories of it. And I was telling the team, I see guys in Seaside, Aaron West, guys from Toms River East. We run into each other, and it's the same thing. Chris D'Amico and all those Lacey guys, McAndrew. It's the first thing we bring up. It's an exciting thing to be a part of. And like I said, I was just forever grateful, being chosen by that. It was an awesome experience, and one for the books.
Great. And you know what? You don't, when you're at the game, you don't really. Maybe it's just me, but you don't realize the score of the game. You're talking with everybody who you haven't seen in a couple months, and you watch the game, and then you realize it's in the fourth quarter, and go, oh, geez, So it was a great hard fought game, a lot of great memories by great sportsmanship. That's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for. So we're in good hands in Ocean County with guys like you, up and coming, and going to be, before you know it, they're going to be younger coaches being hired in the short conference, younger than you. You're not going to be the young guy anymore. So in a couple of years, we're going to talk about you being, one of the older coaches in the shore. So that's going to be another stage that you're going to be looking forward to. So, all right, we got a lot to talk about. You ready to talk Central football?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. All right, Coach, let me just take this off. Never again. No mask, no COVID, and no pods. I don't ever want to hear that word pods. Ooh, I can't stand it. Now, you were the head coach when COVID happened, and we were talking about that. That had to be tough. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the good times. Back to normal. Those poor seniors were, the last time they had a normal offseason was after their freshman football season. So they couldn't watch upperclassmen lead them through a workouts and say, hey, in 2 years, that's going to be me. So you had to teach your whole program what normal off-season routines are going to be from December to right now, like where we're talking right now. Tell us what a normal off-season workout is going to be at Central.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, those guys, JJ Garcia and Gumbrick and all these guys that are going to be seniors, it was more or less it was COVID, and then it was a coaching change as well. I got hired at the end of February, and then I believe second week of March, we kind of got shut down. So the way I was doing things and the way I wanted to have things done, they didn't know that. So, going into this off season, we get started up right away with a developmental phase in December. We get our younger guys to kind of teach the lifts, teach the progressions, teach the foundational movements. So when we get back from Christmas break, we're hitting the ground running. There is no teaching. It's not slow. We're right into it. We did a great job with attendance. How we do things is just kind of do attendance throughout the year. Whether you get credits for playing other sports, but if you're not doing anything, you're expected to be in the weight room. I'm a strong believer in that. It builds team camaraderie and the accountability for one another. That's great. You go to Retro. That's great. You go to these other gyms. But it's the guy next to you on Friday night seeing you work as hard as he is. And that goes from January to, today was our last day of workouts. So those guys do a great job. They're expected to be there 3 days a week. Throughout the springtime, we start getting on the field and we start doing our movements, our speed and agility stuff, really focusing on being, correlating to Friday nights. I'm not just going to be doing sprints, like change of direction, but the movements that you're actually going to be doing. We don't run in straight lines. Everything's timed. We have a laser system from the Dasher program where everything's laser time and it's immediate feedback for our kids, and they love it. So whether it's testing on 40-yard dashes, 10-yard flies, 20-yard flies, build-ups, our kids do a great job with getting better, and just having a number exposed in front of a teenager's face. They see that, that's not that good, and all my buddies just ran faster than me, so I got to turn it up a notch. So that's the way we do things, because we got competitive excellence in everything that we do, whether it's in the grades, whether it's in the weight room, or once we start getting pads on. You got to compete, and we want to have the best 11 on the field, and that's got to be with everything. If you're not getting stronger throughout the year or throughout the winter system or the spring or the summer, that's on you. That's a direct accountability with your group members and yourself, because the program works. Whether you're a teenager, your body's changing forever, but understand that you need to progress. You need to put on the weight. You need to continually get faster and more explosive. And if you're not doing things with intent, then you're wasting my time and your time. So when you're there, we're there to work. We only have you there for an hour and a half, but we're moving the whole time. Part of our conditioning is, our circuits. We'll have our core lifts, and the kids are constantly moving. They're not easy workouts, especially in the summertime when we got 60, 70 guys in the weight room, and we want it. We don't want to devise them up and this group here, this group there. No, all 70 guys are in there. Tuesdays and Thursdays, our freshmen will come in later, and we'll work those guys out as well. Teaching those, it's more developmental for those guys, but they're getting after it as well, and we're excited for the future of Central Regional. And I can't say enough about our guys buying into what we do. Our max out numbers speak for themselves. Our speed numbers speak for themselves. We've never been short of athletes here, and we're going to continue to, make sure that's known, and just continue to put on weight and get faster. Nothing's ever, and we're going to lift throughout the season as well, 2 to 3 times a week, whether it be Saturday, Mondays, and Thursdays before the game. We're definitely getting a sweat in, and those days will kind of vary on how much weight we're putting on the bar. But that's something we strongly believe in, because the accountability factor of the weight room, you can't lie with the weight numbers.
We were communicating yesterday. You said laser testing. I love it. I love it. You know why? Kid runs the 40-yard dash. Coach Davis is Santa Claus. 4.4. Like, my other coaches, he's a 5.3. Big difference of the numbers.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I used to then have other people do, and I would take the average of the two hands, and it just was. But with the laser, it doesn't lie, and it's consistent for everybody. And those kids probably hear that number from the laser, and they respect that more than the handheld, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And different people do the different variations, but I know I'll take a 4.61 laser when it's in the actual time compared to a hand time. So we know who's moving, who's not. And we got some kids that are definitely going to be getting there. When it's 4.8 laser, that's not slow.
No.
But we got some guys that were buzzing yesterday, and I'm excited to see what their season season has, because that speed on Friday nights on turf is that gets scary. So we just hope those kids continue to progress, and we're gonna get right back at it. We're giving them a week off to let their bodies recover, and then we're going to be playing through the holidays. That's our standard, and that's our expectation.
I like how you bring technology into the program. And we talk about this all the time. I love what you do with social media. I love the fact that you're always motivational. It's purposeful. Everything you do, and I think that's your slogan, with a purpose.
Yeah.
And your social media has a purpose, and I like to read into it and go, okay, I like it. And you're promoting your program from within. Incredible. I love how you use the laser testing. You're using technology, and the kids are seeing it and they're reacting in a positive way because I read your times in the laser. Holy smokes. So I mean, the kids look, I think it's special. You can't text kids at the middle of the night, but you could put something on social media where they wake up, and that's home base. They know to look at your website or your Twitter and say, oh, good. I mean, that's important to you, right?
Absolutely. The relationships that we have with our kids are, I would like to think a little bit different than other places. Like I'm not one to lie to you. I tell a lot of my kids that I love them because I mean it. The character is very big within our program. You better be acting the right way all the time. Because I don't care if you're all state in basketball or all state in baseball. When you're getting jammed up, it's because you're a football player. So when you're wearing the Central Regional logo on your chest, you're representing not only yourself, your family's name, but our program and myself. So that's huge. And we got great kids that all have attention to detail. So when they're slipping up, they know what they're doing. The toes are on the line. That's a big thing with us. They're not in front, not behind. They're on the line. We have such a distinct detail in what we do and how we do things. And the social media, it is what it is. You got to get with the times and be on the kids' level. That's what they like. They like, the Instagram, the Twitter. But I'm all for, okay, let's utilize that to make them work. Mm-hmm. The numbers with the laser times. That's all it is instant gratification. Hey, if it's good, or it's going to make you work harder, because the numbers do not lie. We're working on getting some more technology in the weight room, and that's something, our district, our program has been fundraising for. And we're going to continue to be, one of the top programs with innovation. You got to keep up with some of these guys throughout the short conference that do a great job within the weight room, and that's why their programs, not only in football, but in all seasons, whether it's girls or guys, are doing great things. Trying to keep up with the Bob Orrocks, and just trying to keep up with what those guys are doing and the knowledge they bring in the weight room. That's something that's very important to me, myself. And the rest of our coaching staff, and that's in our program. So those kids know how important it is taking care of their bodies, and the technology just kind of helps us do that to try to make the most of it.
I like it. Off season could be blah. You make it very exciting. Right. I mean, off season is we're getting better. We're purposefully doing something. We're not just going through the motions. We're going to be excited in every phase that we're going, motivating. Always promoting academics. I read all the texts. Tweets. I read them all. I don't do TikTok, and I don't think you do either.
No, neither do I.
That and Snapchat, you will not see me. You might see my daughters on it, but not me. But Coach, I love it. I love listening to getting back to normal at Central. No more, and I mean no more mask wearing. No more pods at all. Promise? Good. All right, Coach, let's hear your 2022 football coaching staff.
We'll start with the offensive side of the ball. Frank Papalia is our offense coordinator. He does our offensive line as well. He does a phenomenal job. Mm-hmm. He's been around the short conference. He's an Central alum, so we like that, and have him around, have the people come back with, to where their roots were. But he's been around. Head coach of Homedale. He's been at Rumson. So having him back brings a plethora of knowledge and another head coach on staff, which is great for myself. Mm-hmm. Bill Wild is new to us this year. Bill comes from New Milford. He was a head coach for 17 years. He also was the offense coordinator at Hackensack, won a bunch of titles there. He was like a New Jersey Coach Player of the Year. He's been in the state title at MetLife for 3 times. Another guy that's been a plethora of knowledge, sees things very quickly. We actually had our little dry run through as a coaching staff with the All Shore game, and him seeing things immediately is just another huge help. Having two sets of eyes that were former head coaches is just a great thing to have, especially one in the booth. That will be great for us going forward. Tommy Koenig's going to be doing running backs with us. Tommy's been with us a few years. He was an all-conference wideout at TCNJ, also a Central alum. He does a great job. He works over at Seaside Heights Elementary, so he gets some of those kids that are in our sending district at an early age. So we're excited for him to get some roots there and kind of see those kids as they progress, and we eventually coach them at the freshman level. Frank Backel's been with us a few years, kind of was on the freshman side of things and JV, and he's kind of worked himself up with varsity. He helps out Frank Papalia with the offensive line. Allows Frank Papalia to kind of rotate around, check in on everything, especially on the offensive side of the ball, while Backel really has his hands around the linemen. You know what I mean? He does a great job with those guys, sees adjustments. He's got the iPad. He's very quick with in-game adjustments. Just another plethora of things that he brings to the table that we're very excited about. And then lastly, Danny Higgins. He went to the State Trooper Academy. He just graduated, but he's going to be with us on a volunteer basis. He loves these kids. He loves our program, and he's in it for the long haul. So whenever he can get there, he gets there.
Mm-hmm.
We're excited to have him back, and I know he's excited about his future in the state police. But Danny's been with us a few years since I've been hired. He was a standout quarterback for Southern. Went on to play in college and overseas. So he definitely loves working with Hasiel and Devin and Frank throughout the years. So he definitely wants to see them out throughout their high school career. So he's excited to be back with us. Defensively, new to us this year and has been a Shore Conference guy for a long time is Jeff Schmidt. Actually coached me in the All Shore game. I know he hates when I say that because it ages him a little bit, but I'm super excited to have him on board. What a great mind he is. Just another, defensive coordinator a long time. His in-game adjustments and his knowledge base is phenomenal to have in our program. We're very excited to have him on the defensive side of the ball to help me out. James Plummer has been with us. He's known in the track world. Did his little Olympic run last year. Just came short of the Olympics, but what an awesome guy to have around the kids. He's going to be, he's in the building full time, so it's a great mentor to have, and he's been doing a great job with our outside linebackers. The past 3 or 4 years. He's had all conference guys almost each and every year. Will Welcannon, a Brick Memorial kind of standout legend over there, but he works our defensive line. Big mitts. He's played over at Lamar, which is Division I out in Texas. Kind of came with us a few years ago, and he's a glue guy. He's always making you laugh. He's always smiling, and the kids love him. And he brings a great detailed range of things that he does with the defensive line. And then also my dad is a defensive assistant. He kind of helps out Will with the defensive lineman. But if something if a guy's got to run out early, my dad's been around the game a long time where he kind of hops in. Whether it's running backs or receivers or linebackers, he kind of just plugs in.
Not quarterbacks, though.
Not quarterbacks. We got to keep
it real.
We don't want those knees, burning up on him. But he does a great job, and the kids love having him around. As do I. And lastly was our freshman coaches, which I'm very excited to have. For the first time, solidified that we'll have 3 coaches down there for the amount of kids that we have. Walter Karasevich has been doing a great job down there with our young guys. He's had, the kids always come back the next year. We don't have a huge drop-off. And since he's been there, the kids have always come back. We always at least have 25 kids per grade, which is, our goal to have. Kyle Watson is going to be huge for us down there. Kyle was a offense coordinator at Trenton, was with Wall when they won their state title. He was there about 4 or 5 years. He came over to us, did wide receivers last year, and just due to him having a kid, he's about to have his second baby coming up. So we thought it would be best for him to be on the freshman schedule where it's a little less rigorous, but he's still around the game. And what a great job he does down there. It's going to be such a huge help where those kids are going to be taught the game the right way, coming right up for our program, which is going to be huge. Because as I said before, we are very excited about that incoming freshman class. And then lastly, as I'm getting older, we're bringing back guys that have played for me is Brandon Voss. Brandon Voss was a standout lineman for us. He graduated 2017, was an all-shore candidate. Played for us in that game when I was on the defensive staff. But Brandon's a great kid. He's a hometown guy. He actually coached some of these guys when they were younger, when he helped out and he was in high school. So it's a great thing to have, community guys, people that are Central graduates, people that are in the building, and that have their hooks in their kids. So I'm very excited about this staff and see what we can do to mold another championship season, because that's the standard and that's the expectation.
Yeah, wow, that was impressive. It really, I love what you're doing with the freshmen, surrounding them with quality people. Because listen, it's out there. You're loaded at freshman. You have some good freshman players. We'll talk about them another time. We'll keep it more varsity based with this. But you have two assistant coaches. I kind of want to point out Jeff Schmidt, you just hired as a defensive coordinator. Let me tell you a little thing about him. I have a lot of respect for him because when he was at Jackson Liberty, he made you play left-handed. He took away your best plays. He always rolled. I'm not giving out schemes or not, but he always played zero coverage and would put that safety in a box. And if you were in twins, there was a guy in the alley unaccounted for. Really made us work a lot and got a lot out of his players. And they played to the whistle, and they were so tough against the run. They really were. So that's a great hire you got with Jeff Schmidt. And Frank Papalia did an outstanding job offensively. With Chase Gumbert in the run game and him coming back, and seeing everything for his second year has got to be exciting. Having Frank as a veteran type of leader there, so those are two good coordinators that you're feeling pretty good right now about, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll start with Schmidt. As far as Schmidt goes, just a phenomenal guy. He came in with a different scheme, and we're kind of meshing things together. And what would you do? What would I do? The offensive guys will kind of check in and chime in with what their exchanges would be, and that's what you enjoy about the coaching room, and especially all shore. When you had to be kind of pigeonholed to what you could do.
Yeah.
Like, all right, well, what do you want to do here? Coverages and all that. It was just exciting to hear, because that's great stuff, especially when it's on your staff. I'm excited about the things that we're going to be doing together defensively. As far as Frank, coming from a head coaching role that he was in, he's allowed to delegate on the offensive side of the ball. He brings in a unique perspective of spreading the ball around to our athletes, which you're going to see a lot more of. Chase was explosive. People didn't know about Chase last year. Now they do.
Yeah.
And we have the athletes on the outside to spread the ball around. We have some guys that we think can get the ball out, and we're going to pick our poison. And he says it all the time. It's not hard. It's simple. You just got to count numbers and see what they give us and take what they give us. So we're not last year's team. It's high school football. It changes every year. We're going to adapt the personnel. I think that's what we do great at Central Regional. We adjust, we prepare, and our coaches always have our kids ready to go. As Schmitty develops and gets those relationships with our kids, the Central kid, the Central prototypical kid is loyal, and they'll run through a wall for you. Once we earn their trust, the sky's the limit. So I'm excited the next coming weeks to see what we build during camp. Iron sharpens iron, so we'll be going after Frank, sending him some blitzes that he doesn't really like, and he'll kind of ruffle our feathers when we're telling him that do 11 personnel, come out with quads just to make us think. But we'd rather see everything in practice and prepare. See it on a Tuesday afternoon rather than a Friday night, and be able to adjust quickly because our kids have seen it. But we get good laughs out of it. It's always a chess match. And our kids are, like I said, they're always going to be prepared in the way we practice. We're a big situational preparation team, and these guys bring a great realm of knowledge. And even, Coach Wild on the offensive side of the ball, another set of eyes that has a championship background. All those guys that we brought in have one thing in common, which is state titles. And that's what we want, and that's where our program's going. Like I said, that's the expectation.
Very impressive, Coach. Very impressive coaching staff. All right, Coach. Now, you, to the left is that 2022 football schedule for you. It's pretty beefed up. It really is some pretty big games, but you're also tough for them too. Can you talk briefly about your schedule to the left? And when you're done, we'll kind of talk a little bit about the Colonial Division. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, this is where we want to be. This is what we talked about when, we were first hired and took over the program. We want to be playing in relevant games against relevant programs, and that's we had that last year, and we're going to continue to get that. Like you said, it's beefed up. We know what we're up against, but everything is preparing you to play for playoffs. And I think this schedule does just that. All these teams have phenomenal head coaches. They have phenomenal program history, integrity, and everything that they do. Howell, Mid North, phenomenal offensive programs, and they fly the ball. We prepared. We have our off-season meetings, and we got to do certain things against certain teams. But they're definitely going to keep us on our toes. A lot of athletes and a lot of well-coached teams. So anything can happen each week. That's the best thing about high school football, especially with these teams. You could definitely get blown out, or you'll be right in a fist fight. And that's what's exciting about Central Regional and the conference that we're in this year, which we are very excited about. So I can go on and on about each team, but we're very excited about the upcoming season and the gauntlet of games that we're gonna have right off the bat.
Yes, I mean, wow. I mean, you got to roll up your sleeves every week. This is what you wanted, though. You want to play these caliber teams. You got it. Your program's at that point where they can not only compete, win those games too. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like you said, you want to be in this conference. You want to, the goal is of every high school program to, the way that the short conference is now is to be in those top conferences. You obviously have the top one with the top dogs, and you want to be the best. You got to beat the best. I could speak for every one of these teams that we're preparing for playoffs. Everybody is. So you want to be battle tested, whether it's a home or away game. Have your kids just ready to go once it becomes playoff time. Whether it's Group 4, Group 5, Group 3, it's all the same goal: survive in advance, get to the playoffs. All these games, winning conference titles is great, but everybody wants the one thing, and that's a state title. And that's what everybody should be focused on. 1 week at a time. Our kids know the deal. We're not looking past. They shouldn't even know who Mid North is. We're focused on Howell and getting better each day. August 8th, it's winning the day, getting to 1-0 on that Monday. And that's all we could really ask our kids. We're not really too much looking in advance, but we have some scrimmages to prepare us for this upcoming schedule, and we're excited about those as well.
You really learned a lot. You speak like one of those elderly coaches. We don't talk past week one, and us reporters, we want to talk about week 2 and week 3 and week 4 and week 5. So I'm learning that from the other side now. Because I was the same way. I wouldn't say nothing about week 2, but now I got the pen in my hand and I want to know about those other games. But looking at your division, a Colonial Division, Coach, I broke this up and it's real simple. You have 3 Hall of Fame coaches. All right, 3 Hall of Fame coaches. You have Chuck Donahue at Southern Regional. And when I say Hall of Fame coaches, they're going to have good teams year in, year out. So Coach Donahue, you got Lou Versillo, and Steve Bush. 3 Hall of Fame coaches in that division. Having to play just one of them is a lot. You're playing 3. Now, playing Southern Regional, are you playing them home or away? I didn't even actually look at it. You're playing them at Southern, too.
Yeah, we're at Southern.
And you played them home last time. How special is it going to be to go home? Well, I'm saying home, meaning Southern Regional, to play your alma mater.
Yeah, we treated that. I have nothing to do with the game. My kids are playing every snap. It's about Central Regional. It's about our program. I have nothing to do with it. Where I went to school, what I did, no one cares about. our kids, when they line up on Friday nights, can care less what I did. They think I'm an old man. First one to call out that I'm missing half my hair. So what I did and where I went to school is irrelevant. All we care about is what we do, how we handle ourselves, and one play at a time, and getting to 1-0 on Friday night. We treat Southern Regional just like any other opponent. It doesn't matter my personal love and for Coach Donahue, we're about winning. Central Regional is about getting 1-0. It doesn't matter who we play. It's just about dominating one play at a time.
Coach, I also want to shout out to 2 other teams. Tom River North reached the state sectional finals last year and returned 19 starters back. They're going to be loaded. And then Long Branch, which had a transition of a new coach, Coach Chad King replaced Hall of Fame coach Coach Danny George, and he's got those guys going. I saw them in the 7-on-7s, and they're very athletic. So Long Branch and they were in the state semis last year. So you got a bunch of teams that have the same expectations. They want to make the playoffs. They want to go contend for the division title and also try and get a state title. Include yourself, too. So this is an exciting division to cover, Coach.
Absolutely. Coach Oz is not unfamiliar to state title rings. He's got one. Coach King definitely has some rings. Coach Versillo, Coach Donahue, Coach, but these guys have coached in very big games. They all have them, and that's something that there's no secret, and I'm gonna have no bones about it. We want to be where they were, and we're gonna be on our way, whether it's this year, next year, the following year, or years after. We're just trying to progress. One game at a time. Again, It's not about the head coaches and what they do on Friday night. That we have to prepare the players that are actually playing the game. Coach King's going to have a great program that he's been a part of, that he's led, for years at this point. He's always done a great job. Coach Oz, same thing. They're no secret to what they do. They're all great coaches. It doesn't matter who's Hall of Fame, who's not, because those guys will definitely be on their way in their future, because they do a great job with what they do with their kids.
Yep. So true, Coach. So true. Coach, what can we expect offensively, defensively? What kind of schemes should I be looking into?
Central Regional, there's no bones about it. We offensively, we're multiple pro. Defensively, we're multiple 3-4. Really depends. But again, as I said earlier, we have to adapt to our personnel. So both that offense and defense allows us to do different things, allows us to put our athletes in successful situations, put our guys that are good tacklers, that are speedy guys, whether they got to touch the ball a certain amount of times, and defensively, just getting guys, in mismatch problems, whether it's the defensive line, linebacker, just being able to send guys, roll safeties down. We do have to do a great job of highlighting what those kids do great. If they're fast, let them be fast. If they can hit, let them hit. So that's the thing that we try emphasizing. We have our mini camp at the end of June. We got to see some guys move around, see how much they know of our system. The sky's the limit going forward to camp, because now we just get to implement those puzzle pieces into certain packages and just try to get the most out of them. And that allows us to get all those kids involved on Friday night. So it's not the same 4 kids touching the ball, when you could hear up to 12 to 15 names throughout the night, which is very exciting if you're on Central Regional.
Coach, I love this segment. Is top positional groups. I think it's important to have groups of guys in one position. And I think that if you have a bunch of guys that can lead that side of the ball, that helps you out and makes things a lot easier. Instead of having one good receiver, having a group of receivers, because that's important. They all work together. So I broke you down. I broke your team down. I hope I'm right. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to give it a shot. The Shore Football Report is coming from us. Thinks that for offense, your quarterback, your backfield, your quarterback, your running backs. I mean, wow. And let me say why. You have a running back by the name of Chase Gumbert, a senior. He's decent. He's a potential 2,000-yard rusher. He had 1,800, I think, last year. One of the top running backs, not only in the Shore, but also in the state. You have J.J. Garcia, who I think can do multiple things there. And then you have this sophomore quarterback that it's not a secret anymore. Devin Sessler, a sophomore. I think he's going to be a stud coach. I really do. I seen him on the camp tour. Heard coaches talking about him on a camp tour. I think he's special. I think that kid is special. But you know what? Let me change that. All three of them are special. I think that's your strength is your backfield. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think each one of them, bring a unique presence in our offensive system. Starting with JJ Garcia, you're going to see him do just about everything besides tape ankles this year. He's going to be all over the field for us, offensively, defensively, special teams. Just a unique talent. He's fast. He understands the game. And he's got high character. He's one of the best leaders we have on our team. Whatever you need, hey, coach, you need me at corner, you need me at safety, you need me here. Just a phenomenal kid, a phenomenal leader, and it's going to correlate to Friday nights, and that's a kid that I'm very excited about to really showcase his talents. Where he's not just playing one position, he's going to be playing about 7 of them. So as a senior, you emphasize to those guys, you play for your seniors. That's one of my big things in our program. You only get so many games, and you only get so many games as a senior. So for JJ, not coming off the field is one of those things that he should be priding himself on and putting it on your back because you've been there. He's played in some big games, and he's had some huge pressure situations throughout his career. Going back to starting as a sophomore against Southern Regional. When Jaden Brown's a junior running around, JJ was against those guys. He had to put the ball in the money, run out of the pocket. So we're excited to showcase him and what he can do and his talents. Chase, obviously a hard runner. He's a weight room kid. He loves lifting. He loves running, and he just needs to put it together again. It's going to be no secret. People are going to load the box, which will have the unique ability for our offense to have JJ and Devin kind of spread teams out. Devin's got a live arm. It's like you said, he's got a social media presence and. The coaches, he's been on his circuit. He's been doing the college tours and everything. He's got a great future. He's not a young kid. He's a coach's kid. He understands the game. He understands coverages. You say some things once. We're not a huge 7-on-7 team. We only did one. But those things are, when he makes a mistake, before you can even tell him, he's like, coach, that guy buzzed down. I threw the ball. I shouldn't even have did that. Yeah, you're right. So I'm glad he said it. So go sit down. But those three are going to be doing great things for Central Regional. And they understand that no one's bigger than the program. Devin can't do the things that he's doing without the offensive line and what Chase is able to load the box. Chase understands that he needs Devin to complete the passes or JJ to complete those passes to empty the box so he can run a little bit. And JJ just needs about everybody because he's going to be everywhere. But those three guys are very exciting. They're a huge part of what we do in our program, and especially on the field on Friday night. So we're excited for Coach Papali to put those puzzle pieces in different situations. And there's going to be a few guys that pop out, that aren't those three. So just stay tuned for, Central Regional this upcoming season.
I feel good. I think I kind of hit it a little bit with the offense.
Yeah, a little bit.
You ready for the defense? Wrote some notes down. All right. I know this is your baby, the defense, but I think it's your linebackers. You got a wealth of people out there. Let me just hear me out. I think your senior, I have Caden Barker. I love the junior, Scott Nico. And the guy who I think is my sleeper guy out there is Javon Tate, a senior. Coach, he is so high on my positional rankings. I don't want to tell you exactly where he is because then nobody will watch the show. But he's up there. He's up there. I like Rudy Rendier at the senior. Brandon Jones. Now, that's a name that you and I know about that other people don't know too much about. That kid is going to be a dynamite running back, too. That's going to play linebacker. He's an athlete. You got to find a place for him on the field. And then Nick Ruggiero. All I keep hearing around town is you got to check out this kid, the sophomore, Nick Ruggiero. There's something about him. So he's got something about him that I've heard about, and I've seen him move around in one of your workouts. I like your linebackers. I think that's your strength.
Yeah. Defensively, there is no Javon and Scott are returning starters. Scott started for us as a sophomore last year. He's got a big frame. He's a smart academic kid. He's about 6'2", 6'3", 220. So it's a good weight for him. He's got a strong lower body. Javon Tate did a phenomenal job in the offseason this year, taking care of himself and doing track. We're a huge component of our guys either running or throwing. With our outside linebacker coach Plummer, you're not going to get too much better of a throwing coach than a guy on the Olympic track. And then as far as our guys running, Coach Hardy does a great job for us. With the sprinters, and Javon Tate did a phenomenal job keeping his size, keeping his speed, and getting even faster. Caden is a three-sport athlete. He throws in the spring, wrestles in the winter. He's a weight room kid. He loves the weights, and having him and Rudy in the middle of the field, setting everything up, whether it's the fronts or the coverages or the stunts. Those guys have played a long time for us. They understand the system, and they've waited their turn. We tried getting Caden on a few different spots, whether it's fullback, outside back, or DN. A kid who would do anything for our team to win. And Rudy's the same way. Again, we're going to touch on the character of all those guys, and that's what we're most proud of. They're all academic kids. Each one of those starters are all A's, honor roll kids, honor society kids, and that's something that we're also proud of that needs to be recognized as well. You touched on the young guys. Yeah, they're fast, they're dynamic, but they work hard. Both of them are, again, academic kids. Even with the offensive guys that we mentioned before are they're well-rounded athletes, and that's what we try to provide here at Central is guys that take care of business on the field and in the classroom. But we're excited the future of Nikki and Brandon Jones. They're both fast. They're both physical. They look the part. Each one of them do. They don't miss a day of weight room. They do everything with intent, which is what we want them to do. And we'll see. We have a lot of athletes. We got to find different spots for these guys. And that's the hardest job as a coach, but it's a good problem to have. So we'll figure it out. But once the pads come on, we're really going to see what true colors everybody has.
I looked at your special teams, and I didn't have an exact who's going to be what, but I know you have so many athletes because you just said it yourself, and it's on film, so you can't lie. You have a lot of athletes, and I think your returners, whoever you put there, insert him, you have returners are your strength. I don't want to kick the ball deep to you.
Yeah. We're going to try to differentiate whether it's punt or kick. Our kickoff guys, the scheme that we're running, it might allow Chase Gumbrick and, a Brandon Jones to be back there on kickoff. And then for our quick twist to try to get us a few yards, we might have Tony Brinson back there returning punts and JJ Garcia. There's a few guys that we can put back there in different situations depending on what we want to do. But special teams is just that, the third phase of the game, which we hold very important to us and what we do in our program. Every day they get 20 minutes, designated to them. It's not a problem until it's a problem. So we avoid that at all costs and make sure that everyone knows what they're doing on special teams. The big emphasis for us in the offseason is finding the best 11 to put on the field at all times. So if that's punt return and it's a full range of 11 new guys, whether they're all speed guys, blocking guys, it's a new set. So finding the best 11 to get the edge on one play at a time to win that down is what exactly we're going to do. And, we're excited. But, yeah, the returners, it's no secret. Like you said, we do have some athletes, so it's just putting them in the right spots and making them be the most successful athlete that they can be, that helps our program win on Friday nights.
Yeah. So I was somewhat close.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
Nice. Coach, let's hear about your top returners and also your newcomers or needle in a haystack type of speak. Let's hear some names out there that you got this season that you're excited about.
Yeah, defensively, we'll start on that side of the ball. Probably our most, explosive player is Javon Tate. Whether it's the laser 40, he ran a 4.7 laser. He's moving. He's all of 210 pounds. He looks the part, 6'1", and has great academics. We're expecting him to do great things, and we're going to make it tough on some people moving him, in different areas. So you do have to account for him.
Yeah.
Stephen Tapia is a very good corner. He's a returning starter for us. May have been in the shadows a little bit because of how good Danny Morris was last year, but just coming off the 7-on-7 stuff, Tapia is very good, and he's been doing track throughout the whole offseason. He got faster. I'm kind of yelling at him, where are you baiting people? Or he's got some makeup speed. But it's awesome to see that him put in the work in the offseason that I was now transitioning down to the field. Trey Mitchell coming down and Cosmo Sicaro are going to be up front for us on the defensive line. Those guys are two seniors that have waited their turn and they're program kids. Cosmo's a very, very good wrestler at the 215 and heavyweight area. He made it down to Atlantic City last year, and he's a very good athlete and a very good leader. So we're excited to see what he does. On the linebacker on the inside, Rudy Renderer and Caden Barker. Those guys are tough kids, as we mentioned before. And then on the back end, I'm really excited to see Davey Ferreira. He's going to be a upcoming junior. He's lanky. He's a basketball player. He's worked hard in the weight room to put on weight. And he's getting his eyes and the speed in the right situations. He's made a lot of plays in 7-on-7. Again, we're excited to see what these guys can really do going forward. And then you have some guys that are going to be fighting for spots. I'm not one to sugarcoat it. The best kids, will play on Friday night. So the Jones, the Ruggiros, Chase Dudleys, JJ Garcia, Tony Brinsons, all those guys are going to be playing on the defensive side of the ball. And we got some young bucks, really fighting for some time. Nemeka Amanchina is a sophomore that, is going to be very good for us in the back end. So sky's the limit for us, and we just got to put those guys in the right situations. Offensively, we have a lot of young guys coming up on the offensive line, which is a good problem to have. A lot of guys find depth. We have depth. Which we'll be able to coach these guys, in the next 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Germanario, Donovan Lang, Adam Anello. Then the offensive line, the guys that earn their stripes, Fernando Martinez, Chris Galifi, Giancarlo Saeda. All these guys are tough kids, and, they want to play and they want to do what's best for the program. A guy that we are that deserves his feathers a little bit is Tony Brinson. Or his flowers, I should say. It's Tony Brinson. He's done a great job in the offseason, getting his body right, working hard. So he's gonna be a household name for us. And then JJ, as I mentioned before, is gonna be a little bit of everything, but Devin Sisler at the quarterback. He's got a live arm. He's got the tools. He's got the good mental capacity for that position. He's a quick trigger kid. Where it's the next play. That play's over, whether it's good or bad. He's on to the next one. He doesn't let it phase him. He got his first start, when we were, he was a freshman on kind of short notice. We put him in against Southern Regional this year, and he threw for 200 yards. Yeah. He didn't make too many mistakes, and he was putting the ball in the money with some great throws. So
he threw a post in the game, missed for a touchdown, but it was, it was very impressive knowing he was a freshman. That was the impressive part. But
he battled. He scored our first touchdown on the back shoulder throw. He hit Danny Morris on a fade down the sideline. He made some impressive throws that game, and when we were tagging plays, when we need to make adjustments, it was no flinching by him, which was most impressive by him for a young guy. As a coach, you kind of forget about that. He's a freshman. It's loud. It's a big time situation. He doesn't want to let his team down. And, when the bullets are flying, he was there. He's standing toe to toe with some of those older guys.
And he did it against a Group 5 school.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're talking about a freshman that was inserted for Southern Regional, who was very good that year too. That was it was a very impressive showing he did.
Yeah, so we're excited about the future. We have our younger kids we're very high on. Once they learn the system, I think those guys can do great things for us. Another name I want to mention is Royalty Riley on the outside. He's going to be an upcoming sophomore. He's a basketball player, track kid, just a dynamic athlete. He's long. He's going to be able to high point some balls for us. And Chase Pierce is, more of a baseball name. He's, a standout for our Central Regional baseball team, and those guys are always going deep in the playoffs and being a force in the short conference. And Chase is an outfielder for them, does great things, and he's earned his time. He's earned his stripes on the outside for us. He's a possession guy. He runs great routes. He's got good hands, good hand-eye coordination. And he's going to block his butt off out there. He does whatever he has to do to win the games, and that's something we take pride on, especially on the outside with guys like Gumbrick and Garcia and Brinson and Sisler. If they break it to the outside, you got to be able to block on the perimeter, and that's something we take huge ownership
in. Yeah, Coach. I mean, I love listening to how you're talking about your players because we talk on the phone, and you're the same way on the phone. Like you're excited. Like I could feel the pulse in the conversations, and you definitely didn't disappoint anybody on here talking the same way. You know what you have. You're not shying away from it, which I respect. And you're ready to take this team and lead them. Yeah. Right.
Absolutely. It's one that, the kids know. And, if you speak to them later and, you get in front of our program, no one's bigger than the team. It's the team first, program first, and it's one day at a time. We can't, you kind of hit the nail on the head. Yeah, it's 3 Hall of Fame head coaches, probably, 2 guys that are eventually going to be doing, great things, probably, talked about the Hall of Fame. And, everyone's got a state title in that thing, but that's where we want to be. I think we understand that we could sit at that table. And it's time for us to take that step as a program, and we can't worry about that. We can't worry about those coaches. We can't worry about those kids. We got to worry about us and taking ownership of what we do each play. Are we doing our job? Are we winning the play? Are we winning the down? Are we getting off the field? Are we doing all the fundamentals and taking practice seriously? We ride them at practice, and so those Friday nights are fun for our kids, but they're going to be prepared. They're going to be tough. And as long as we take care of what we do, we feel that it'll put us in a position to at least win the game. And that's all we can ask.
Awesome. Hold on 1 second. My wife is. Okay. Coach, I was writing down everything. I mean, here's my notes. Don't want to show anybody else what I was writing, but love writing it. I haven't wrote this much even in college. It's incredible, but enough about me. Very impressive. A lot of guys that I like seeing in person. A lot of guys that I'm hearing names being echoed out from other coaches and college coaches. And you got a lot of exciting things going on. Enjoy it and, and let the dice roll where it goes. Your team's definitely prepared. Your coaches got them in the right direction too. And, I'm excited for you, And I wanted to thank you for coming on the show. It was great.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for letting us talk about our program.
A lot of good things going to happen the next couple weeks. A lot of good things. You guys need anything from myself, you just give me a ring, and the Short Football Report will be there for you guys. No doubt.
You got it.
No
Thank
doubt.
You so much.
All right. Proud of you. Keep working hard and, go Eagles. All right. Now I have 4 outstanding football players from Central Regional and also excellent student athletes off the field. Let me introduce you guys and let's just jump right into the 5 questions. All right. To my left, I have the outstanding multi-purpose quarterback, wide receiver, and DB. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's JJ Garcia, the senior, right? Was I correct? Defensive back, right?
Correct, Coach.
You are a very good athlete, man. You can play any position. And thanks for coming. In the middle right there, we have sophomore quarterback Devin Sisler. Dev, hello. Wave your hand. Good. Right hand side, we have senior outside linebacker Javon Tate.
Hey, what's up?
Nice. Last but not least, the speedy wide receiver senior. I know you're fast because I saw the video. Coach Pidgeon showed me. Wide receiver cornerback Tony Brinson. Thanks, guys, for coming on. Listen, the Shore Football Report takes a lot of pride in knowing all the stuff in every program. But I need 5 questions answered. After that, I know everything about your program. I'm good for the season. You ready for the questions? 5.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right. Number 1. Who is the funniest dude in your program? I need to know. This is the biggest question I have. Who's the funniest football player that you have in your program? And don't hold back. And do not hold back. Coach Pidgeon's not here right now. This is you and I talking. I need to know. The Shore Football Report.
Evan Brownstein.
Who?
Evan Brownstein. The kicker.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
The kicker's throwing jokes around?
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's the guy that keeps. What year is he?
He's 2024.
All right. So is he the only one? There's got to be somebody else. Maybe a lineman.
I mean,
Some others.
yeah, we got some other funny people.
Wait a minute. Javon's laughing over there. So there's got to be somebody. Who is it?
Parker.
Who?
There's definitely a handful.
So you got a couple guys, right?
Yeah.
Because I know Coach Pidgeon likes to joke around here and there, right?
Yeah.
Papa Pidgeon does, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. So that's good. The kicker is the funny guy. Number 2, when Coach Pidge has a message to send out to your whole program, there's usually 1 or 2 people that spits it out in a group message. Who's that leader that does that?
I think it's
It's kind of like a big group. Like he has a really big group of the players in like a group chat on iMessage, and
Right.
then he tells us seniors, and we tell like the younger guys.
Okay.
So all of us send it.
So all of you do it?
Yeah.
We get on each other and make sure we're all there and stuff.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
And you said it was a Google Classroom?
We have a Google Classroom, and we also have an iMessage group chat where he has all our numbers in it.
Oh, okay, cool. And then you guys all overlap each other's stuff, right? Good.
Sure.
Good. That's important, man. If a lot of you guys are taking charge of it, it makes the job a lot easier for the coach. Number 3, getting back to normal. Getting back to normal. No more COVID, no more mask, no more pods. How great was it to work in the weight room with your teammates for the first time in 2 years?
I feel like
Wait, hold on, one at a time. Dev, go first for a second. How great was it?
The bond that we can create to do it, and like how we help each other out and motivate each other is really great.
Yeah, Javon?
to be honest, I just feel like it's building like a lot of good team chemistry, which is like really important on a football team. Because if we're not like all in sync, we're not going to play good. So I think that's pretty good about it.
JJ?
Awesome getting back. Going back off of what Javon said. It just built chemistry for all of us, and we're just all on.
It's great to be around the guys. Tony, would you agree?
Yeah, everything they're saying is right. Nothing much to say.
Now, did any of you guys go to camps? I know, Devin, you did. Anybody else go to college camps?
Yeah, I went to a few.
Did you go to a few?
I did not attend to them.
My question, though, the guys that you guys that went to the camp, was it any restrictions, or was it a full go? Everything was good. Did you have to do testing?
I think perfect.
Yeah, it went pretty fine.
So there was no mask involved, no testing. No? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
pretty
good.
open.
Well, then we are back to normal. That's great, man. That's awesome. All right, number 4. Good job so far. 4. All right, I already know the expectations from Coach Pidgeon and his staff. I've talked to them many times in the summer, and I just talked to Coach Pidge earlier today. I want to know what the expectations are in the locker room when there's no coaches, just the players. You guys tell me, you had a great season last year, but what's your expectations this year? Tony.
State championship.
State championship?
A ring. Get a ring.
A ring state championship. Nothing wrong with that.
It's really just staying focused, like taking every game one day, like one game at a time. Not really like focusing on too much on the future because, like, if we don't win our games, we're not going to playoffs. So we just take it one game at a time.
Yeah,
Day by day. Every day, every practice, every weight room lift, win it. And then we'll focus about what's in the future.
Do you feel like you have a target on your back a little bit because you won the division championship last year? So, I mean, you guys have high expectations and other teams know it, or you're just going to –
I feel like we're still underdogs. We still got something to prove.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that's good. Getting after it. I hate when people say we're trying to defend something. I rather say we're going to win it instead of defend it. You know what I'm saying? Every year is different. Nothing's a guarantee. Nothing's ever a guarantee. Last thing, guys. Last thing I need to know is this. Tell me, why is it so special to play at Central Regional under Coach Pidgeon? Under Coach Pidgeon. I know why it's special. I want to hear it from you. Tony, start it off.
One thing, the coaches love all the players. You know what I'm saying? They show everyone, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really know what to say right now, but they just care about the players.
He
teach them
does.
hard.
No, you're right. He does care about the players. He really does. He does.
Even though, fun and joke sometimes, but when it's time to get to work, everybody gets to work. As one big team.
Yeah.
Everybody does. Locked in.
Good. JJ, tell me why it's special to play at Central Regional under Coach Pidgeon.
Well, ever since Pidge came in my sophomore year, he it was kind of hard for him at first, but he didn't look at the adversity and going, and he always pushes for us and cares about us a lot, even with the other coaches. And he just wants the best for all of us, and hopes that we all just get that stuff. And he tries his best, and he works really hard, and that's why we all put in the work for him.
Good job. I totally agree. Devin?
I feel like he's just someone we can respect. We can joke around with him. We can take it serious. We know, we all respect him, everyone, especially the whole coaching staff, like Coach Plum. I think everyone looks up to him too. I feel like it's just a team bonding thing. Like today, we played knockout, and we can have fun, and then we just go straight to weight room, take it serious. It's all team bonding and just how we can all get along.
Knockout, Javon. That's your theme when you play outside linebacker, right? Was that anything to do with you tackling somebody, or is it a different game? Because I got a little nervous when I heard knockout with you around. Yeah.
I do that for fun and stuff, but I'm always trying to really make plays for my team just to help us get the win.
End it right here. End it here, Javon. Tell me, why is it special to play for Coach Pidgeon?
I'm kind of gonna base it off what everyone else said. Really, all the coaching staff treats us like family. Every day that I go there, I feel a warm feeling. I'm at a second home almost. And especially with Coach Pidge, even with college recently, he's been helping me so much and getting me so much closer to my dreams than I was before. And just him coming to the school really, I feel changed the entire generic of how we play and how we are as a team. He made us a lot better.
Well, guess what, guys? I wasn't surprised with how well you guys did last year. I know Coach Pidge real well. He works at it. He cares about. He loves you guys. He loves you guys. He'll go over and beyond for you guys. And I know you guys will run through the wall for him too. You got something really special going on at Central. Keep it going. It's your senior year. I know you're only a sophomore, but it's your senior year, guys. Take this group and go after it. Have fun. And be proud of the program you're at, right? I'm real excited for you guys, and I'm pulling for you. I want to thank you guys for coming on the show. This will be posted Saturday, and I want to see you as the leaders spreading this video all over town. This is your program. This is your preview. Be proud. Central is here to stay. All right. Thank you very much, guys. All right, and good luck this year. Good luck this year.